July 26, 1981. A social club in Brooklyn. Three made men, formerly inducted members of the Bonanno crime family, one of 5 Mafia organizations that divided control of organized crime across New York City, are having an argument. The argument is about a man sitting right there in the room with them. His name is Donnie Brasco. He's a jewel thief, an earner, a guy everybody wants on their crew. One man says he brought Brasco in, so Brasco belongs to him. A second man says he's been handling Brasco daily for years, so Brasco is his. A third man, a captain, a mid-level boss who runs his own crew and answers directly to the family leadership, says, "Rank settles this. Brasco belongs to him. Each of these men will kill over this dispute." None of them know the one thing that would end the argument instantly. Donnie Brasco is FBI Special Agent Joseph Pistone. He's been inside the Bonanno family for 6 years. He's weeks away from getting his button, being formally made, full membership, which would require him to commit a murder. And the moment anyone in this room discovers the truth, Pistone will not leave alive. No federal agent has ever infiltrated one of the 5 families, 5 separate mafia organizations, Bonanno, Colombo, Gambino, Genovese, Lucchese, that carved New York into territories and operated as parallel criminal governments. So how does one man survive 2,000 days inside that world? And what happens to the men who trusted him when he vanishes? To understand why the FBI sent a man into the Bonannos, you need to understand what New York looked like in 1976. 5 to 6 major hijackings per day across the city, every single one tied to a mafia family. Trucks full of electronics, clothing, liquor, disappearing off highways and loading docks, the cargo reappearing in warehouses controlled by crews from all 5 families. The FBI had informants, they had wiretaps. What they didn't have was anyone on the inside. J. Edgar Hoover, who ran the bureau until his death in 1972, had refused to allow agents to work undercover. He thought it would corrupt them. So the FBI had spent decades watching the mafia from the outside, picking up fragments, never seeing the full architecture. By 1976, a new generation at the bureau wanted to change that. They needed someone who could pass. And here's where Pistone's background matters. Before Operation Sun Apple, the code name for this mission, Sun for Miami, Apple for New York, Pistone had already lived inside a criminal organization. He'd infiltrated a vehicle theft ring, not for a week, not for a month, but for a sustained operation where he drove 18-wheelers and bulldozers alongside actual criminals. That job produced over 30 arrests. But the arrests weren't the important part. What Pistone learned during that operation was a principle he'd carry for the next 6 years. The longer you stay useful, the less anyone questions who you are. Competence is the best camouflage. A man who makes money for you is a man you don't investigate. That's why the FBI chose him. Sicilian heritage, fluent Italian, raised in Paterson, New Jersey, where he'd absorbed the rhythms of how mafia men spoke and carried themselves. The Bureau trained him for weeks, studying precious gems, lock-picking, safe-cracking. They built him a cover as a Miami jewel thief named Donnie Brasco. They set up apartments in New York and Miami. Then they erased Joseph Pistone. His name came off the office rolls. His personnel file disappeared. Anyone who called the FBI asking for him would be told that no one by that name was employed there. His wife Maggie and their 3 daughters moved to an undisclosed location. And Pistone stepped into a world governed by one rule that made this operation nearly impossible. In the Mafia, an outsider can't just walk in. He has to be brought in by a made member who vouches for him, personally guarantees his loyalty with his own life. If the newcomer turns out to be a rat, the man who vouched dies. This vouching system was designed to make infiltration unthinkable, but it had a flaw nobody had considered yet. September 1976. Pistone, now Donnie Brasco, starts working the bars and social clubs of Little Italy. He targets a Colombo family crew run by a man named Gilly Greca. Hijackings, truck robberies, the lowest rung. One night at a bar frequented by mobsters, a local mob wife tries to flirt with him. Pistone politely declines, then turns to the bartender and says 3 words. She approached me. It's a small moment, but to anyone watching, it signals something. This guy knows the code. He knows that hitting on a mobster's wife gets you killed, and he knows the protocol for making sure no one misreads the situation. He's fluent in a language that can't be taught in a classroom. 6 months of earning trust inside the Colombo crew. Then, a Bonanno soldier named Anthony Mira, known as Tony Mira, a feared enforcer with a reputation for sudden violence, pulls Brasco out of the Colombo orbit. Mira introduces him to Benjamin Lefty Two Guns Ruggiero, a Bonanno soldier with 26 claimed kills to his name, perpetually passed over for promotion, broke from gambling debts that once hit $160,000. Lefty sees in Brasco something he desperately needs, a protege who can earn money and bring him status. Lefty becomes Brasco's daily handler, his guide to every ritual of Mafia life. They eat together, they drive together. Brasco is best man at Lefty's wedding in 1977, and the whole time, Pistone is reading his man. Lefty is insecure, overlooked, desperate to matter inside an organization that's treated him like furniture for 30 years. That desperation is the vulnerability Pistone will exploit for the next 5 years, because a man who needs you will defend you against anyone. But there's a problem Pistone didn't anticipate. By 1978, Pistone has officially become an associate of the Bonanno family, someone who works for them, earns for them, follows their orders, but hasn't been formally inducted and can be discarded at any time, and 3 separate men are now claiming ownership of him. Tony Mira insists that since he brought Brasco in, Brasco is permanently his. Lefty Ruggiero argues that he was the first to put a formal claim on Brasco, that he's been handling him every day, that this is his guy. And then there's Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano, a Bonanno captain who dyes his silver hair black and runs his crew out of the Motion Lounge on Graham Avenue in Williamsburg. Napolitano is the most ambitious of the 3. He's risen to acting street boss during a violent internal war, and he declares that rank settles everything. Captains outrank soldiers. Brasco belongs to him. If you're thinking this dispute is good news for Pistone, it isn't. Each transfer of ownership triggers a new loyalty test, new eyes watching, new questions about his background, new chances to slip. The sit-downs, the arguments, the tension between Mira, Lefty, and Sonny Black, all of it keeps Pistone under the hottest possible spotlight at the exact moment he can least afford it. And the criminal demands are escalating. Pistone is participating in loan sharking, extortion, illegal gambling, selling stolen property and firearms. He wears a wire to record conversations. He memorizes license plates and names because writing anything down would get him killed. He and Sonny Black open a club called the King's Court Bottle Club, north of Tampa, an undercover den where gangsters gamble, fence stolen goods, and deal narcotics. Sometimes Pistone sleeps on Sonny Black's couch and watches cartoons with him in the morning. The intimacy of the relationship is what makes the intelligence so valuable. It's also what makes extraction feel more impossible every month. 4 separate times, Pistone is ordered to commit contract murders. He can't refuse. In the Mafia, the most dangerous word is no. So the FBI manufactures delays, complications, redirects. They stage at least one fake killing. Each intervention works, barely, and each one brings them closer to the edge. Meanwhile, Pistone's personal life is disintegrating. He sees his wife and daughters once every 3 or 4 months for a single day. He can't tell them anything about the case. In 1978, Maggie is in a serious car accident. She's hospitalized for 11 days. Pistone breaks cover carefully and stays by her bed for a week, then disappears back into Donnie Brasco's world. The FBI's original timeline was 6 months. They're now past 4 years. And Sonny Black is maneuvering Brasco toward the thing the FBI simultaneously dreams of and dreads: full membership, getting his button, becoming a made man, which means taking an oath, going through the ritual, and earning the protection and profit sharing of a full family member. It would be the deepest penetration of the Mafia in the history of American law enforcement. But there's a price of admission nobody at the FBI wants to talk about. In Mafia tradition, a man cannot be formally inducted without first committing a murder on the family's behalf. It is the proof of loyalty and the point of no return. An FBI agent cannot commit murder, and the Bonannos are about to demand exactly that. By 1981, the Bonanno family is at war with itself. Boss Carmine Galante was executed at a Brooklyn restaurant in July 1979, shot dead over his lunch, and the family split into two factions. On one side, 3 captains loyal to the old guard. On the other, Sonny Black and a power broker named Joseph Pistone, both loyal to the family's imprisoned boss. On May 5, 1981, Pistone lures the 3 rival captains to the 2020 nightclub in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn, under the pretense of a peace meeting. The 3 men arrive unarmed because that's the rule at sit-downs. In the club's storeroom, 4 gunmen wearing ski masks are hiding in a closet, armed with pistols, a shotgun, and a submachine gun. One of them is Vito Rizzuto, a Montreal mob boss, brought in as an outside trigger precisely so no local hands could be traced. When the 3 captains enter the room, one of the gunmen yells that it's a holdup. Pistone punches one captain to the floor. All 3 are killed within seconds. Pistone learns the details from Lefty Ruggiero himself, who describes the aftermath. The body of 350-pound Dominic Trinchera was so destroyed by shotgun fire that pieces of him were scattered across the room. They cut him apart and put him in green plastic garbage bags. Pistone is recording every word. And now, Sonny Black, riding the momentum of this internal victory, pushes harder than ever to get Brasco made. He orders Brasco to murder Bruno Indelicato, the surviving son of one of the 3 dead captains, as proof that Brasco deserves his button. The FBI faces the decision that's been building for 6 years: pull Pistone out and lose the most valuable intelligence source they've ever created inside the Mafia, or leave him in and watch a federal agent either commit murder or be killed trying to avoid it. They try one more time to find a way through. They hatch a plan to kidnap Bruno Indelicato and tell the Bonannos he's dead. They can't find him. With Indelicato gone to ground and the induction window closing fast, there was no credible delay left to manufacture. There was no more room to maneuver. On July 26, 1981, after approximately 6 years undercover, the FBI extracts Joseph Pistone. He boards a plane to Milwaukee. Donnie Brasco simply vanishes. No goodbye, no explanation. 2 days later, FBI agents Doug Fensel, Jim Kinney, and Jerry Lohr walk into the Motion Lounge on Graham Avenue. They pull Sonny Black aside and tell him the truth. Agent Fensel later described the moment. He said he told Napolitano, "Donnie Brasco is really Joe Pistone. He's an FBI agent." And Napolitano just took it. Like Fensel was telling him today's Sunday, they offered Sonny Black a chance to cooperate. He refused. He said, "You know better than anybody that I can't take that." Lefty Ruggiero's response when the news reached him was simpler. He told his wife his life was over. Tony Mira, the man who first pulled Brasco into the Bonanno orbit, faced his reckoning first. He was murdered in a Manhattan parking garage in February 1982, shot by a family associate. The vouching system, the rule designed to prevent exactly this, now executes exactly as designed. But it executes against the men it was supposed to protect. On August 17, 1981, Sonny Black is summoned to a meeting at a house in Staten Island. He knows what's coming. Before he leaves, he gives his jewelry to his favorite bartender at the Motion Lounge. He hands over the keys to his apartment so someone can take care of his pet pigeons. He walks in. Frank Culpa, a Bonanno capo acting on family orders, greets him at the door and says the meeting is in the basement. As Napolitano starts down the stairs, Coppa slams the door shut. Napolitano is shoved down the staircase where two men are waiting with revolvers. The first shot grazes him. One gun misfires. Napolitano, on the floor, bleeding, says 5 words. "Hit me one more time and make it good." They do. His body is found a year later in a creek in Staten Island. Both hands severed. A message about what happens when you shake the wrong hand. The FBI intercepts intelligence that Lefty Ruggiero is next. Agents pick him up on August 29th as he heads to a meeting at a social club where he was likely going to be killed. They offer him witness protection. He refuses. Omerta, the code of silence. His refusal to cooperate is the only thing that saves his life. The Bonanno family lifts the contract because he kept his mouth shut. He's convicted of racketeering and sentenced to 15 years. The operation produces more than 200 federal indictments. It dismantles a significant portion of Bonanno family leadership and gives federal prosecutors the template for every major organized crime case that follows. For 6 years undercover, 200 indictments, and a $500,000 contract on his life, the U.S. government presented Joseph Pistone with a medal and a check for $500.